In the previous episode, I had 4 long day sails, making fast progress north up the York Peninsula from Lizard Island to Shelburne Bay. And here I continue north to the Escape River to stage for the passage inside of Albany Island, around Cape York, and into Thursday and Horn Islands in the Torres Strait. Like several of the previous anchorages, it was easy to sail off the anchor in the dark, typically before dawn, which meant I could enjoy regular sunrises for breakfast. This time we were back in the shipping channel with lights on 2 islands along the way. Now it's Saturday, the 10th of August. We have had a lovely, lazy day of sailing. I drifted off anchor this morning in Shelburne Bay, unfurled the jib, set the wind pilot. With minor adjustments, we've done 40 miles so far, and we have 20 more to go to over there to Escape River anchorage. This is Bushy Island, well named, and it's our penultimate marker for today. If I had more time and wanted to hang out, I could anchor in the lee of this. There's a sandbar. You can just see it coming around the bushes right now on the other side there. It's going to make this a nice kite circle. Anyway, another day, although we will never be back here again. We're just skirting the edge of the reef here. I reached the Escape River entrance in good time around mid-afternoon. The red rocks along the south side of the mouth are indicative of the bauxite deposits present throughout this region. I motored quite far up the river to anchor out of the wind as shown on the chart and in the satellite view. Well, I made it to the anchorage in the Escape River, and I'm not sure anywhere to land, unfortunately. I got the dinghy down because the wind's not so strong here. I might just go explore up the river. I don't know. It's all mangroves here, so I did explore quite far up the river, but frankly, besides a few birds, there was not much to see. Oh, it's Sunday the 11th of August. And we are headed for a momentous occasion. We are about to leave the South Pacific Ocean. There's Quintessa behind us, slowly catching us. They do 7.57 to our 5.56. So they always catch and pass us because we usually start earlier. And anyway, we are Broadreach, headed down here. This is the end of the mainland on the left and Albany Island on the right. We're going to go through a passage here, Albany Passage, and if we've got the timing right, which I believe we do, the flooding tide, which goes north here, went south earlier, but from Cape Granville onwards it's north, should give us 4 knots going through here, so we might reach 10 knots. We will see shortly. Well, here's Lady Contessa coming by us. She's a really nice classic Beneteau. She's a first 44. Not sure what year, but certainly not young. And he's got maybe a third of his Genoa out. It's probably the same size as the sail we've got out, because I've got the entire jib out. And they're doing a knot faster than us. And that's, I think, entirely due to waterline. He's probably got 40 feet of waterline, and we've got about 30 at most. Anyway, we're both doing great. He's going to take the lead, and go through the passage here, the Albany Passage. We're entering Albany Passage. There's a dirt track comes all the way down to the corner here. Looks like somebody with a camper van. See the typical silica sand beach is there, but then these red bauxite-rich rocks they mine to purify into aluminum. And on the other side, Albany Island. Nice little sandy beach here, but the rest of it's rocky. Unusual trees growing on this cliff over here. Not sure what that's about. Anyway, it looks nice and smooth, so I presume the current is indeed with us. But we're only doing 4 knots. I don't quite understand. We should be going much faster, although the wind has lightened down. Or lightened up. Oh well. At least it doesn't look crazy and turbulent. We'll find out shortly. Lots of colour changes in the water though. And here's the point at the end of the land. There's a big blue 4-wheel drive something just arrived. There's what looks like a magnetic termite mound there, that red thing sticking up. And yeah, man, it's really pretty. That place. Just past a turtle. I didn't manage to get the camera out quickly enough. There's little bays on each side. There's a tiny one with some palm trees in it. And on the other side here, nice little bay and a nice sandy beach. Yep, and there's another bay on the other side here, coming up. Wow, what a place. We have timed it perfectly. We have some current, but not a lot, with us, but nothing opposing, no standing waves, nothing crazy. Very cool. This is Somerset Bay, where in the 1800s they tried to establish a port and administrative centre here, but eventually Thursday Island became it. Check out the single palm sticking way high. A bunch of little cottages and so on here now. And on the other side is what's called Port Albany, which has a little wharf or pier or dock or something sticking out here, and landing craft up on the beach. So presumably this is the main access for getting stuff to the island of Albany, which seems to have some cottages on it. Some people organizing a boat right now there. Oh, we're almost through the Albany Passage now. Very cool place, wow. Awfully picturesque. This bay is called Stover Bay. Nobody in it, just mangroves. And the hill here, I forget its name. Up ahead, guess what? Cape York. Contessa about a mile ahead of us. Woo! Almost out of the Pacific. Here is my tracker on the Anchor Alarm satellite view, showing how narrow this passage is, with the many sandy bays on each side. Now we're through Albany Passage. It's just gorgeous. Gentle current behind us. Very nice. And now we're heading along the coast. Some pretty bays. Rocks to be avoided. And this low-lying slip there is Cape York. That is the northeasternmost tip of Australia. Next to it are a couple of islands with a light on them. Kind of nice to think that's the actual cape, but oh well. And going around in front of us is Contessa, Lady Contessa. What a milestone. End of the Pacific, end of the Coral Sea, beginning of the Arafura Sea. Woo! And here we go. This is the light at the top. It's actually Abacus Island or something like that, and that's York Island. Cape York is just behind it, technically speaking. But this is it. We are leaving the Pacific. Woo! This is so awesome. And you won't be able to see it, but I can just make out Thursday Island and Horn Island, where we're going tonight. And our track into Horn Island. which is the preferred anchorage for yachts, as the anchorage at Thursday Island to the west is an exposed lee shore. The ferry goes, there's Quintessa over there, and the ferry goes over to Thursday Island. That's where I'll spend tomorrow, Monday. And right behind us is Nakika, German boat with Bove and Lisa on board. And there's all mangroves, as often the case, along the edge, but they dredged this channel. It's 35 feet deep, and it's low tide now, and the anchoring holding is not very good. So used revs to 3,000 RPM in reverse to make sure we were set. So I think we're good, but when the tide changes we're going to swing the other direction, and then all bets are off. This turned out to be a serious mistake, as it damaged the reverse plates in the transmission, which had been swapped with the forward plates I had worn out in New Zealand. So from here on, I not only did not have reverse, but eventually in South Africa the forward plates became damaged by the debris from the reverse plates. After provisioning on Thursday Island and planning to leave the next day, Lisa and Boren on Nakika, a boat that had accompanied us much of the way but always arrived at anchorages late in the day, on the right here, invited David, Serena and me on board for dinner. And here they are on their respective boats the next morning before we all left for Darwin. In the next episode I sailed to Darwin with a brief stop in the Wessel Islands, a week-long passage.